The wedding everyone was waiting for. The most desired bachelor in the world marries an American actress. The number of rumors and dramas surrounding this wedding seems to have no end to this day. Yet, we cannot deny that the wedding was an amazing event. So, what were the details of the day and what were the controversies surrounding it? Hi, my name is Anna and welcome to On Royals, where I talk everything royal related. Today, I'm gonna tackle once again the topic of Harry and Meghan's wedding. Last time, I talked everything about the preparations, the wedding dress as well, and how they met, why it happened at Windsor, and so on and so forth. If you haven't watched it yet, please do it now or after this part. But today I'm gonna talk about controversies and how the day went. So basically, welcome to part 2. I'm gonna start with controversies. First thing was Meghan's father absence during the wedding. Thomas Markle decided that he will not attend just a few days before the wedding. The situation began with staged photos of Thomas preparing for the wedding, which he admitted later to, hoping to improve his public image, though allegedly he earned some money doing those photos for newspapers. Amid the controversy, Thomas suffered a heart attack and initially decided not to attend. Then he briefly changed his mind and said that he will attend, although his condition was quite serious, and ultimately, due to the health complications requiring a surgery, he confirmed that he would not be able to walk Meghan down the aisle and he stayed at home. What happened next? In short, there was a lot of drama following the wedding, and it continued for many weeks and even months. It also involved step-siblings of Meghan, Thomas Markle. He was also in one of the morning TV shows, and it went on and on and on for months. The second drama around the wedding was bridesmaids, dresses, and Kate. Who made whom cry? Meghan Kate or Kate Meghan? Is it the source of conflicts between the ladies or the continuation? A matter of misunderstanding or just a deliberate malice? We may never know. However, something was probably in the air because the drama surrounding the bridesmaids' dresses and Harry and Meghan's wedding, as well as the relationship between Kate and Meghan over the years, this drama never quieted down. As Harry writes in his memoirs, the dresses of the bridesmaids were done in Paris only from measurements, so it was obvious they would need alterations. Meghan wrote to Kate that there was a tailor at Kensington Palace who could make adjustments, but Kate replied that Charlotte's dress was too big for her and needed to be remade from the scratch. This was just 4 days before the wedding. And Harry describes that he found Meghan crying on the floor after this exchange. This is what we know from Harry's memoirs. And how did Kate perceive this situation? We'll probably never know. But probably there was something in the air. We have no idea who said what and what caused what. But this situation was blown by media even years after it happened. So, I mean, we have to count it as the controversial drama surrounding the wedding. Tiara. So something that was also a big thing and kept coming back during the years. As I mentioned before, in the previous part, Meghan wore a tiara, a diamond bandeau tiara, formerly belonging to Queen Mary, wife of George V. However, according to many accounts, authors of books, and somewhat the couple themselves, this was not Meghan's first choice. Her first choice was a tiara with emeralds, and there are not a lot of emerald tiara in the royal possessions. Various sources provide different versions and mix different people in the story, often mentioning Angela Kelly, the dresser to Queen Elizabeth, as one of the biggest player in this drama. In one way or another, the palace denied Meghan's first choice, and I have no idea how they did it. Was it a proper way or an improper way? And it is suggested that it was due to the uncertain source through which the tiara joined the royal treasury in the 1940s. This tiara, a diamond tiara, was proposed instead. However, as Harry wrote in Spare, Meghan was denied the opportunity to try the tiara on with her hairstyle, and some attribute Meghan's misplaced final hairstyle with failing strands next to her face to this situation. To spice it up, few months later, during her wedding, Princess Eugenie had an emerald tiara on her head, and there was no question back then where did it come from. So, well, we don't know if the tiara was already promised to Princess Eugenie, or during the preparations to the Meghan's wedding, something has changed and then the tiara was promised to Eugenie, or yeah, whatever the reason is, Meghan had not wore the emerald tiara but the diamond bandeau tiara. And what I presented is just, a mix of different stories. I do not really believe in any of the story, and probably there was something in the air again, but we'll probably never know what exactly happened and if it happened. And the last controversy, was it a real wedding? So it started with the famous interview at Oprah's in March 2021. The couple said in the interview that they actually got married 3 days earlier in the garden and not at the big chapel with all the people around them. Meghan said during the interview that 3 days before the wedding, they actually got married in the presence of Archbishop of Canterbury in the garden of Kensington Palace. And it was a big revelation. Really, everyone was like, oh, is it really? So we just watched a spectacle without a significance. But actually, the Church of England commented on this, and the Archbishop himself as well. And he said that the wedding actually happened in the chapel, which only makes us believe that whatever they did was in the garden with the Archbishop or not, was just an exchange of vows and, a private affair without any actual significance. Okay, so let's go to actual wedding day, the day when it actually happened. So it happened on May 18th, 2018 in Windsor. Windsor was packed with media and with people who just wanted to have a glimpse of the newlyweds. And the wedding of Harry and Meghan was, of course, very popular in the US. So many US TV stations gathered in Windsor, and apparently there was plenty of them. As the wedding was scheduled to begin around noon, around 11:25, members of the royal family slowly began to gather in the chapel, and at 11:40, Prince Harry joined them with Prince William. The Queen and Prince Philip arrived at the chapel at 11:52. Shortly afterwards, and of course shortly before noon, Meghan arrived to the chapel with her mother first in the car with Dorian Ragnall. And she also arrived with a group of bridesmaids and page boys. And after climbing the stairs to the chapel, she proceeded to the altar, first alone, and then in the midway, Prince Charles was waiting for her and accompanied her through the choir of the chapel. He led her to the altar where Prince Harry was already standing. So first we had the declarations, in which the couple promises to love, cherish, protect, and be faithful to each other. After Harry's declaration, you could hear the crowd's reaction in the chapel, and it caused laughter among the wedding guests. Prince Harry's aunt, on his mother's side, Jane Fellows, read a reading from the Song of Solomon, and the sermon was later delivered by Michael Carey, an American bishop. Carey's 14-minute speech, which quoted Martin Luther King, emphasized the redemptive power of love, and some found it controversial, too showy, but I think it injected a lot of freshness into royal affair. In the second part of the ceremony, we heard the vows of the couple, and it was sealed with the exchange of rings. The wedding rings were made by Cliff and Company, and Meghan's ring was made from Welsh gold and Prince Harry's from platinum. And it is very unusual because usually the groom in the royal family, he does not have a ring, only the bride. The music accompanied the ceremony was not entirely typical for English wedding. Apart from traditional anthems, there were some unusual tracks. For example, there was a gospel choir. And as mentioned in the previous part, the music was chosen by the young couple together with Prince Charles. During the ceremony itself, the prayer also was led by a female pastor, Rose Hudson-Wilkin. After signing the registers, Harry and Meghan, along with the guests, sang the national anthem, and the couple bowed to the Queen before descending from the altar. Then they proceeded in the procession to doors, and when they were outside on the stairs, the couple shared a kiss. Because there was no balcony moment in the Buckingham Palace, they shared a kiss on the stairs, and it was very memorable. After the ceremony, there was a carriage procession through Windsor, which of course everyone followed. Basically went around Windsor only to come back to the Windsor Castle. 2 receptions were organized that day and night. The first one for the ceremony attendees was hosted by the Queen and took place in St. George's Hall in Windsor Castle after the carriage procession. Singer Elton John performed for the guests, and the groom and the Prince of Wales gave speeches. Prince of Wales, then Prince Charles, of course. And the second reception, more informal wedding party, took place at Frogmore House for family and close friends. It was hosted by Prince of Wales, and it took part in the evening. And for the evening reception, then already Duchess of Sussex wore a backless Stella McCartney dress and an emerald cut diamond ring that once belonged to Princess Diana. They looked like from James Bond movie. Prince Harry, beautiful, and Meghan, beautiful. They were both so stunning. The wedding cake was not a traditional one. It wasn't a fruit cake, but it was layered cake, lemon and elderflower cake decorated with peonies. The honeymoon. When it comes to the honeymoon, the couple sneaked to the Mediterranean for 10 days. We don't know exactly where they were, but somewhere in the Mediterranean region. They could stay with Elton John, but it's not confirmed, so probably not. And I would like to add a few things about the impact of the wedding. Because when it comes to royal watching, the wedding had the biggest impact in the recent history. And the wedding was the beginning of a completely new era of interest in the royals and a new online opening, I would say. As when in 2011, William and Kate got married, we were still kind of in a TV era. In 2019, we were in social media, podcasts, YouTube era. So around the time, a lot of online creators interested in the royal family, royal watchers, but not only, even media outlets like Daily Mail or other big American and British media started their podcasts about royal families, current affairs, and the preparations for wedding. And the wedding was one of the first events of the change of the guard in the royal family. I would say from 2017 up until now, we have a constant change, a constant crisis in the royal family. And little did we know in 2018, when Harry and Meghan did marry, what will happen next. In short, when we listen to, for example, BBC coverage of the wedding or some movies around the topic of the wedding, we can hear that commentators are stating for sure that Meghan and Harry will be a great support for the monarchy and the royal family. Of course, back then we have a bit more active royal members or working royal members as the Queen or Prince Andrew, but we kind of knew back then that Harry and Meghan will be a big part of the royal family and they will support future King Charles or future King William no matter what. They will be the core of the royal family. And it was quite a popular opinion that Harry and Meghan will engage a lot in the Commonwealth issues. Is it the youth Commonwealth issues, or in general, they will tour around Commonwealth, there will be Commonwealth ambassadors, maybe they will live in another Commonwealth country as the ambassadors. You know, Meghan's background, her being biracial, her being an American, gave a completely new outlook for the royal family. She could be a great asset to the royal family. Royal family was not longer homogeneous. They had a biracial member that could resonate very well with post-colonial society of the UK, but also Commonwealth. And it was also supposed to be end of controversies and dramas for Harry, who in his youth enjoyed not so great reputation, and now he's supposed to find peace and love. Though, as it happened, there were many inconveniences on the way, and the couple decided to leave royal family and leave royal duties as of January 2020. And also because of this, the royal family landscape changed forever. And by doing this video, I also realized that we are in a completely different royal family than we were in 2017 or 18. The world is completely different. We perceive royal family a bit differently, also because of Harry and Meghan. And well, I'm just super interested for what the future brings. So thank you so much for watching this second part of the video about Harry and Meghan's wedding. Please subscribe if you haven't yet in order to support my channel and so I can produce more and more videos like this. And let me know what would you like to hear about in the next episodes. Have a nice evening or a day. Bye bye. See you.